Okay, you're done. Hello, everybody, and welcome to 5 Happy Minutes. It is your 5 best minutes of the week. It's mine. I hope it's yours. It should be. Tonight, doing something a little different. Coming to you solo, no guests. Probably be a quicker show, which may be for the better. Gone a little long lately. Uh, do have the cheat here, so if you have any questions for him, you might be able to answer those a little later. I'll have the Q&A on. But the main reason that I set up this solo show was to give my input on the schedule. 2015 season schedule came out here in bits and pieces over the past week. Mike revealed it, gave a little bit of his opinion. Eric put out a lot of numbers that I still don't understand, but I've got Truett taking a look at them, and I think by the end of the week, he might be able to explain it to me. So while I'm trying to figure that out, and understand exactly what Eric said, other than I think he's planning to beat me twice this year. So we'll see. Not so sure about that, but I figured I would take a look at, I'm not going to dissect everybody's schedule. Obviously, I want to look at mine. That will be intriguing to all of you because play all of you, leave anyway. And I'll probably look at one or two other schedules and something that is done on a sports talk format that I appreciate with a few specific teams that go through the schedule game by game, and they decide win or loss, and then take a look at the record at the end of the year, see where they think they should be. And obviously, I might be a little biased when I'm looking at my schedule, but that's all right. So just so you know, for those of you watching live, if anyone is, Q&A is on. You can fire away. Before I get into the schedule, something that has to do with the 2015 season, I could not go on without mentioning how our free agent auction will be affected by the current 4-game suspension for Tom Brady. He's a free agent, just won the Super Bowl. He's not going to command a high salary because nobody knows how much longer he's going to play, but when he does play, he's consistent. So let's assume one of two things. The suspension stays at 4 games, or the suspension goes to 2 games. I think if the suspension stays at 4 games, I think he is, well, his salary in our league will be lower. How much lower? I don't know, a couple dollars, 10, 15. Depends on where you think he's going to go for if he played the whole season. But I dare say his value has increased with a 4-game suspension, and that is because he will be out to prove that much more how dominant of a quarterback he is, whether the balls are deflated, overinflated, whatever you want to say. I remember a time just last season, actually, where there was serious talk, maybe everywhere other than New England, about Brady possibly getting benched in favor of the backup. And I think it's Janine Garofalo. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. Needless to say, we went from that in week 2, 3, maybe 4 to Super Bowl MVP, Super Bowl champion. So if you're going to suspend him for 4 games, and if that suspension holds, or if that suspension is even kicked back to 2 games, I think you're going to see somebody with a big chip on his shoulder. Now, Gronk, he's obviously going to be in a little worse position, possibly for the first 2 or 4 games. But Brady, in my opinion, is going to light it up after that. How will that be reflected in the salary he gets at our free agent auction? I think it'd be foolish to say that he's going to go for more money now that he's suspended for 4 games, especially because week 4, I believe, is the bye week for the Patriots. So he won't play until week 5 for a fantasy, well, in the NFL, if the suspension stands, but for a fantasy football team, you're looking at the first 4 or first 5 weeks. I don't know what it is, whenever his bye week is. But yeah, so he wouldn't play till week 6. Week 6 is when he would play his first game. And in a league where the regular season ends after week 13, you've got him for 7 games. Now, having Brady for 7 games is better than having somebody like Johnny Manziel maybe for 13 games. We shall see. He's a consummate professional since rehab. I want to make sure everybody's aware of that. But I would be interested to know what everybody else thinks, either tonight or in conversation on Facebook about Brady. Now, some people aren't going to show their hand. Lori Newberta, Derek Newberta. probably expects to land Tom Brady for $15. Let him ride the bench for the first few weeks until the suspension is over, bye week's over, put him out there. But I do think that there is more value in Brady because I think he's gonna take those stats from 13 weeks or 16 weeks, 17 weeks in the NFL, and he's gonna condense them into the time he has to play because he doesn't take something like this lightly. And neither does Belichick, and I think he's gonna let him loose. But that's my opinion. It's my show, so I can get that. Before I get into my schedule game by game, which I'm going to do it quickly. So there's 13 games to the regular season. I don't think I'm going to spend 10 minutes on each one. I'm going to go pretty much lightning round through these. But there's a question. Stinky Train is with us. He's watching. He says, by how many games do you think that I will win our division? I being Stinky Train. I do think Eric will win the division. I think he will win this division probably by... I would say probably I put the over-under at 3.5. That's where I put it. And I'm going to leave it at that. So I'm going to go down my schedule. Start out a little easy. I have 2 games against Stinky Train. Everybody remembers last year I went 1-1 against him. I had 4 wins all year. 1 came against the division winner. This year, I won't get too much into it, but I think same thing this year. So starting out against I Love My Ditka. Good Lord, please change your team name. That's all I can say. So 1-0 after week 1. Baroni and Red Wings. I don't have the best team in the league, but my team has been made better by trades lately. For the next few years, I did have to give up the number 6 draft pick in the rookie draft, but I'm happy with Bennett, Macklin. They're going to make my team a little bit more consistent, along with Gio Bernard, and with 3 rookies that I'm going to pick up. Calvin Benjamin, Cam Newton, all coming back this year stronger than ever. So we're going to start out 2-0, week 3 against the Stinky Train, and that'll be the first loss of the year. Not unexpected. He's top 1 or top 2 teams in the league, and should not expect to come out of the gate 3-0. So 2-1. Week 4, going against the Dutch Oven, reigning champ. I think he has the trophy. There's rumors. There's never been a picture. I'm going to put myself at 2-2 after week 4. But then weeks 5 and 6, looking up, going against the Hitmen. Yes, a division champ from last year, but that's like winning the NL East in baseball this year. So I'm going to put myself at 3-2 after week 5, and then going into probably easiest or second easiest matchup of the year, and that's week 6 against the Alpha Dogs from my favorite city, from Atlanta. Gonna go 4-2. Amazingly, by week 6, I will have matched my entire output win total from the previous season. I'm pretty excited about that. Week 7, Chicago Bombers. As much as I would like to win that matchup, it's going to be tough. The main reason being Bennett is on bye week that week. And after that trade, I was waiting for the schedule. I was so hopeful that Bennett was going to put up 3 touchdowns, 180 yards against the Chicago Bombers. Would have been sweet, but it's not going to happen. So I'm going to lose in week 7 to the Bombers. Going to be 4-3, and then week 8. Week 8 starts out helping me pad the win total a little. Derek Mostrom's team. Again, good Lord, please change that team name on Yahoo. There's been so much about team name changes this year, cities and mascots. And here we are going against Derek Mostrom's team. That's going to be a win. That's going to be a win. So that's going to put me to 5-3 through 8 weeks. Then comes a tough 2 weeks. Is it unnecessary fisting? Is it the Tucson Matadors? Is it the Tuscan Matadors? Is it the El Matadors? Is it Tito Santana? I don't know who I'm playing in week 9, but I'm pretty sure that Andy runs the team. and I'm pretty sure that's a loss for the Cheats. So after 9 weeks, we're going to be 5-4. Very respectable, I believe, considering the 4 wins last year. Week 10, Swedish Assassin. I think that's Doug. I'm pretty sure it's a Mostrom. I don't know who else it would be. It might even be a Mastodon. But I do believe the Mastodons will crush the Cheats in week 10. So that's going to put me at 5-5. But then things look up. Things look way up, because every year I'm going to at least get 1 win against the Stinky Train. And before I face him, I'm going against the Red Wings. At 5-5, facing the Red Wings, pulling out a win, 2 wins this year against the Red Wings, going to 6-5. And I don't know if we're on the road in week 12 in Cleveland or we're at home in Strong Badia. 2 words. But I do know that week 12 is the week that we get our 1 win against the Steamers for the season. So we're going from 5-5 in week 10 to 6-5 in week 11, 7-5 in week 12, and then we're going to finish 7-6 facing Team 10. I think that's Jared. I don't know if he has. I don't even know if he's come up with any. I think he's from Calgary now. So going to Calgary in week 13, it's going to be cold. Cheats don't play well in the cold. So we're going to lose there. We're going to finish 7-6, a very respectable 7-6. In some weaker divisions, that might win the division, but that'll be enough to finish second. Just missed the playoffs by a game or 2. Finish probably about 3.5 to 4 games out of first place. We'll make the playoffs, but very respectable. Very happy with the 7-6 record, adding 3 more wins from the previous year. So that's what we're looking at for the Cheats. I think that's looking pretty good. I would really like to do this just one more. We'll just do one more. It's already 9:13. Cheat, as you could tell, he's looking a little sleepy. See, that's what he looks like when he gets tired. So he's got to go to bed soon. He's had a long day. So we're going to take a look at Ditka, even though he hasn't changed his team name yet. Maybe he never will. If we want him to, you know he won't. Well, we already know week 1 he's going to lose. He's facing the Cheats. Strong Badia. Strong Badia does win. Next week he's going against the Detroit Hitmen. Ditka's have been talking a lot of trash. Maybe it's not trash. Maybe he'll be able to back it up this year. I think he'll back it up some. You definitely got to think he's going to have more than 2 wins. 2 wins each of the last 2 years. Definitely looking at 3-4 wins at least this year. But let's get through the schedule. So loss in week 1. Week 2, a win against the Hitmen. Week 3 against the Oven. Going to take a loss there, starting out 1-2. Then going against the Red Wings. Going to win against the Red Wings. So it'll be 2-2. Going against the Steamers in week 5. That's a loss for Ditka. Ditka's going to be 2-3. And he's going to get to 500, and he's going to go over 500. He's going to get a win in week 6 to go to 3-3 against Derek Mostrom's team. Week 7 against the Alpha Dogs. That's another win. So we're up to 4-3 for Derek. He's got a couple losses coming. Week 8, lost against the Assassin, Mastodon, whatever that is. Week 9 against Team 10. Anybody who hasn't updated their team name should be an automatic loss right now. But I think it's going to be 3 losses in a row. Weeks 8, 9, and 10. The Assassin, Team 10, and then the Bombers in week 11. So that's going to put him at, I don't even remember now. I think he's at 4-6 after week 10. Win against the Hitmen, put him to 5-6 after week 11, and then split them at the end. So go 6-7. No, 5-8. 5-8. A win against the Oven and a loss to Andy at the end of the year. So 5-8 for Ditka. 4 wins total in the first 2 years, 5 wins in the 3rd year. That's a huge improvement. And I think Ditka would be more than happy with that. He should be more than happy with that. I don't think he's going to be, but that's where I've got him at. That's good for schedules. I didn't get an updated spreadsheet, so I don't remember if there were any trades recently worth talking about, aside from pick six going to the Chicago Bombers from Strong Value Cheats in exchange for Macklin and Bennett. I think there's $5 going towards Chicago in that trade as well. Definitely worth it for the Cheats. We're happy with it. Stockpiled 4 draft picks, knowing that if we went to the draft with 4 draft picks, we'd be more than happy. But if we were to receive a fair offer for 1 or more draft picks prior to the draft, we'd be more than happy to strike a deal. Took that 6th pick. Really wanted the 6th pick, but didn't want to give up the opportunity to pick up 2 guys who we can start right away, who may have been on the bench half or more than half of the season for the Chicago Bombers. And hey, I mean, having a Chicago Bear on the team, that makes us a winner all the way around. I mean, whether it's Bennett or Cutler, I don't know anybody else on the Bears. Brandon Marshall's gone now, but that's just more balls for Bennett. So we're happy about that. We're happy to have Bennett, happy to have Macklin. Can't wait to see what he's going to do in Kansas City this year. It's going to be strong for the Cheats. Right next to Kelvin Benjamin, Cam Newton throwing the ball around, throwing the rock. This is before we even look at our rookies and our free agent pickups. Looking at least 1 or 2 solid free agent pickups. Can't wait for Johnny Football to come around. It's going to be great. He's going to be a strong backup for the Cheats. He's been a consummate professional since coming out of rehab. A lot of people say, oh, he's in rehab, you should cut him. We're not going to cut him. We're not that kind of an organization. We're going to stand by our man. So I'd love to take some questions. If there are any other questions out there live right now, otherwise you can post them. Post them to the Facebook, post them to the Hulu, to the MySpace, to the Google Plus, to the Hangouts, wherever you want to post your questions. We'll take a look at them. We'll answer them in due time. But I want to thank everybody for watching live. I want to thank you for watching on demand. Whenever you watch, or if you listen, maybe you kind of podcast it audio-wise while you're driving to work. Cheat would like to say thank you. Say thank you, the Cheat. Yeah, there you go. Are we going to have a good year, Cheat? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Aren't you guys glad I brought him back? I don't think you've seen the Cheat since a video of when you invited me into the league. Well, the Cheat's happy to be back. He's happy to be here, and he's looking forward to this year. I'm looking forward to this year as well. So to all the viewers, I want to thank you. Have a good evening, and if you're playing softball tomorrow, good luck. And we'll see you next week.